Rick West is a man who goes where average mortals fear to tread. He's kind of an Indiana Jones of the spider world, traveling in planes, boats, and on foot to seek out rare giant spiders in far-flung, dangerous corners of the planet. He's been trapped in quicksand, jumped into piranha-filled rivers, even been kidnapped by warring Indian tribes. Those eight-legged monsters of our nightmares are Rick's little furry friends. More than 30,000 spider species stalk the Earth. Fearsome, multi-eyed, eight-legged predators, always looking for their next meal. Rick's one of the world's leading experts on tarantulas. By documenting new species, even consulting with governments, he hopes to protect the tarantula population and help dispel myths about these hairy giants of the spider world. The call to adventure brings Rick down to Venezuela, where an old friend, Juan Carlos, has a report of an unusual metallic blue tarantula.
It was nice seeing you again, Juan Carlos. It's been, what, 8 years now? 8 years since I...
Juan Carlos has invited Rick to join him on a journey to the remote Araña Peninsula, a unique desert environment on Venezuela's Caribbean coast.
It's a 6-hour drive before nightfall, so we've got to get going. There's a little place that I've been told about that has a very beautiful tarantula that I know something about. It's an electric blue colored tarantula with orange abdomen. It lives in the sand dunes and the desert. I've never seen any photographs of it other than in captivity. So this is exciting for me.
Driving mile after mile through a hot, shifting landscape, Rick's determined to locate this big spider, a sapphire blue tarantula, which exists nowhere else on Earth. Arriving late in the day, Rick checks out a grassy, dune-covered area for any sign of the blue tarantula.
I'd heard very little about these blue tarantulas. Initially, I'd heard that they lived in trees in very elaborate silk sock-like retreats. Nobody could tell me how these spiders lived, so I had to see for myself.
In the fading light, with no spiders in hand, Rick makes a final inspection of the dune area.
Holy smoke! This is a huge, huge rattlesnake. That is one big boy. This is a beauty. This is one of the local rattlesnakes. These rattlesnakes in this region close to this town, I've been told, have put about 130 people in the hospital last year alone. That rattlesnake has got to be as thick as my arm. This snake has come out at dusk to hunt, and this is one of the reasons why at night you've got to be extremely careful walking around here. These dunes are riddled with burrows. There's lots of rodents, lots of good food, and this is why he's out. Now that would put me into the hospital. And if my wife sees me playing with this, she's going to really be angry that I was playing with this by myself. So I'm not going to play with it, I'm not going to pick it up, just going to leave it be, let it go about its business, have a nice little rodent for dinner or something like that, and I'm going to go in the opposite direction. This is when the desert comes alive. Hardly anything moves during the day because they're hiding from the heat. And this is the best time to be out in the desert, and the creepiest time.
Hoping he's seen his share of snakes on this trip, Rick searches the desert shadows for the real prize, the elusive blue tarantula, rarely seen and never filmed.
There's one. You see it? That is another very nice tarantula. and I don't see a burrow within 10 feet of it.
In the cool of the night, these tarantulas hunt along the desert floor, waiting for cockroaches or maybe a small lizard to come along. For the most part, other animals prefer to leave tarantulas alone. But here in South America, the giant 3-inch Pepsis wasp is a ferocious predator. It will attack a tarantula, and once it has immobilized the spider, plant an egg on its body. In one of nature's crueler acts, the wasp maggot will eat the paralyzed tarantula from the inside out until the young wasp is ready to hatch.
I'm going to see if I can pick this spider and bring it out into the open where you can have a better look at the coloration. It is beautiful in the light. Well, that's a little close and personal, but I'll see if I can get her out into the open. That is a beautiful tarantula. You know, these spiders have been on the planet for 25 million years, and here I am today, standing here with this very primitive spider. Maybe he doesn't think he's looking at me, but I'm certainly looking at him. And it's a very intimate moment. It's hard to describe. If tarantulas are nocturnal animals, why are they so brightly colored? Why are they so beautifully patterned? Who can see them in the dark? Unless you happen by with a flashlight.
The spider's shocking blue color may be a warning to predators to stay away, but no one knows for sure.
I'd kiss it, but I think my wife would get jealous. Well, this has been very successful.
While finding the blue tarantula has been a dream come true, he still hasn't seen any den sites. With a good idea of where they live, Rick wants to return in the daylight to locate the actual homes of the blue tarantula. The next morning brings another searing hot day on the trail. Rick returns to the site of last night's discoveries, but the spiders have disappeared, and now he's looking for telltale tarantula webbing.
Yeah, there's a burrow under this tree right here. These are good areas, but I don't know what type of tarantula burrow. It looks like tarantula silk, so very difficult place to get into. The tarantula's in there, and it's a blue tarantula. This is great. There she comes. Look at that. What a beautiful specimen. She's obviously very defensive about her burrow. Look at those colors. That is stunning. That is a big female too. She'll sit in that position for about half an hour defending her burrow, and I don't want to tear it apart. It's obviously taken her a long time to build that silk burrow, and in this area it's not easy to just start all over again at that life stage, so I'm just going to back off and just leave her and see if we can find some others.
So Rick has solved the riddle of the blue tarantula's homes. They're not in the branches as first thought, but in small dens at the base of trees. Rick leaves the Araña Peninsula with a new insight into this rare and beautiful spider, found only here in this remote Venezuelan desert. Back in Caracas, Rick's got to break the news to Lynn that he's staying on an extra week. His guide, Juan Carlos, has just tracked down giant tarantulas the size of dinner plates, only a 14-hour drive from here.
You can just keep feeding the spiders a little longer. I hope they're not giving you any trouble. Now I've got to go down to the Pirro village. Gracias. That was Juan Carlos bringing some water for me. It's really hot here.